There are moments in life when strength is misunderstood. Moments when we believe that being strong means never asking for help, that carrying everything alone is proof of courage, that silence is safer than admitting we are overwhelmed. Many people live quietly inside that belief. They wake up early, they work late, they solve every problem in private and hide every fear behind effort. Not because they are heartless or proud by nature, but because somewhere along the way, they learn that needing others is a weakness. This is a story about one of those people. A story about effort, exhaustion, and the quiet courage it takes to finally say, "I cannot do this alone." In a small rural town, far from busy highways and loud cities, lived a young man named Ethan. The town was simple. Dusty roads ran between old houses with fading paint. Fields stretched wide on all sides, shaped by seasons and patience. Life there moved slowly, measured by sunrise and sunset rather than clocks. Ethan was 24 years old. He had strong hands, a calm face, and eyes that often carried a distant look, as if he were always thinking about something just beyond reach. He worked as a woodworker. His workshop was narrow and dim, built from weathered planks and memories. It had once belonged to his father, who taught him how to shape wood, how to listen to its grain, and how to respect honest work. When Ethan was 17, his father passed away suddenly. From that moment on, Ethan felt the weight of responsibility settle heavily on his shoulders. He did not cry in public. He did not ask neighbors for help. He simply stepped forward and decided that from then on, everything was his responsibility. Every morning before dawn, Ethan unlocked the workshop. The door creaked softly, the same way it had for years. Dust floated through the air as pale light slipped in through cracks in the roof. He worked quietly. He cut, sanded, measured, and repaired. He built chairs for kitchens, shelves for storage, and tables for families who needed something sturdy and affordable. Customers often tried to bargain. Some promised to pay later, others never came back. Ethan accepted it all without complaint. At night, when the town grew quiet, he swept the floor and cleaned his tools. Then he returned to his small room behind the workshop. He cooked simple meals. He counted his earnings carefully. He stretched every coin as far as it could go. Most weeks, the numbers barely worked. He could afford food. He could afford firewood. But little else. Still, Ethan dreamed. Some nights he sat by the window and looked toward the hills that led to the city. In the distance, faint lights flickered like stars fallen to earth. One day, he told himself, I will have a larger workshop. One day my work will be known. One day, I will not worry about every broken tool or every unexpected expense. But dreams, he learned, do not move forward on hope alone. Reality arrived constantly. A cracked saw blade, a leaking roof during heavy rain, medicine for his aunt, the woman who raised him after his father died. Each problem drained his savings. Each challenge demanded another sacrifice. Some neighbors admired his dedication. They called him hard-working and reliable. Others doubted him. You work too much, they said. You should be more realistic. A man like you will never leave this town. Ethan heard every word. He did not argue. He did not explain himself. He simply worked harder. Then, one quiet afternoon, something unexpected happened. A well-dressed man stepped into Ethan's workshop. He was older, with calm eyes and a thoughtful expression. His name was Mr. Rahman, a traveling trader known in nearby towns for his fairness and wisdom. He walked slowly around the workshop, examining the furniture. He ran his fingers along the edges. He tapped the wood gently, listening. You made these yourself? He asked. Yes, Ethan replied. Mr. Rahman nodded. I need a large dining table, he said. Strong, simple, finished in 10 days. The price he offered made Ethan's breath catch. It was more money than Ethan usually earned in several months. Without hesitation, Ethan agreed. As Mr. Rahman left, excitement rushed through him, followed closely by fear. This was his chance. But it was also a test. For the first few days, everything went smoothly. Ethan worked from morning until night, focused and energized. Then, halfway through the project, he ran out of high-quality wood. He went to the local supplier, only to learn that prices had doubled due to seasonal shortages. The money he had saved was no longer enough. Ethan stood alone in the workshop, staring at the unfinished table. His chest felt tight. His thoughts raced. I cannot ask for more time. I cannot ask for more money. The idea of explaining his situation felt unbearable. Asking for help felt like failure. That night, Ethan barely slept. Before sunrise, he made a decision. He gathered a few small stools he had made earlier and traveled to the city market. If he sold them, he could buy the wood he needed. If he failed, he would not even have enough money to return home. He set up a small stall in a crowded corner of the market. For hours, people passed by without stopping. Ethan stood quietly, pretending not to notice his growing fear. Then, near sunset, a woman paused. She examined the stools carefully. She asked questions about the wood, the joints, the finish. "These are honest pieces," she said. "I'll take all of them." Ethan felt relief wash over him. He returned home, bought the wood, and finished the table on time. Mr. Rahman was pleased. "You have talent," he said, "but remember this: talent grows best when it is supported." Ethan nodded, though he did not fully understand. In the weeks that followed, word spread. More orders arrived. At first they were small. Then they grew larger. One day, a businessman from the city visited Ethan's workshop. He placed an order for 10 large dining tables, all to be delivered within 1 month. The payment could change Ethan's life. The challenge nearly crushed him. The workshop was too small. The deadline was too tight. The cost of materials was overwhelming. But Ethan said yes. That night, he sat alone in the dark workshop. If I work non-stop, he thought, maybe I can do this. If I push harder, I will succeed. To afford the materials, Ethan sold his father's old wristwatch. It was the last thing he had left of him. As the jeweler weighed the watch, Ethan looked away. Tears filled his eyes, but he did not stop himself. Sacrifice, he believed, was the price of success. For weeks, Ethan worked without rest. He skipped meals. He slept on the workshop floor. His hands cracked and bled. Neighbors warned him. "You're pushing too far," they said. "You will ruin your health." Ethan did not listen. Then one night, a table split during assembly. Ethan sat down heavily, his strength finally giving way. That was when his aunt entered the workshop. She had watched him suffer in silence for weeks. "Sit," she said gently. Ethan did not speak. "You have already proven your strength," she said, "but strength does not mean doing everything alone." Ethan's voice broke. "If I fail," he whispered, "I lose everything." She placed her hand on his shoulder. "If you lose your health, success will mean nothing." They sat quietly for a long moment. Then she said, "Ask for help." The words felt heavy, uncomfortable, necessary. The next morning, Ethan did something he had never done before. He asked. He asked neighbors to help sandwood. He asked friends to assist with deliveries. He accepted advice. He accepted support. No one laughed. No one refused. They worked together. They shared meals. They talked and rested. The tables were finished on time. The businessman was impressed and paid exactly as promised. With the earnings, Ethan expanded his workshop. He hired helpers. He repaired the roof. But the greatest reward was invisible. Ethan learned that independence does not mean isolation, that courage includes humility, that asking for help is not weakness, it is wisdom. If this story touched you, take a moment to reflect. Who might be ready to help you if only you allowed them to? If you found value in this story, please like the video, share it with someone who may need it, and subscribe for more thoughtful stories like this. Thank you for listening. May your journey be lighter, your heart be steady, and your path never be walked alone.